So this one, let's look at all the price action. Let me get this back to being big. All right. So this one, wow, is a lot like the other one that, so this one, again, you have another area where price action's being held, right? And it's bouncing and trying to go long. And then you have this area like where trades aren't going basically, you know. It's you're stopping here and going back down to that area. You make it a little bit higher here and you have to recover and go back to the A9, try to bounce out. You only get this right here, but look what happens to your price action. So I always call this picket fences. White trash picket fences. You remember that? Yeah, trailer park teeth. White trash picket fences. So whenever you see that, like when you see this, it generally means that price action needs to manipulate one way to go another. And so usually wherever it manipulates first is the opposite of where it wants to go. And so whenever you see all these dojis forming and you get a break to the upside like that and it pulls back, and see how this is at the high now instead of being down here like this. Like this means up, but up here, this is actually weakness. And so then you have more dojis, and then you have a red candle there, and then you have another. It never really, it does break it on this candle there. Get rid of all this. It does break it on this candle right there, but it's a wick, and it instantly pulls back and closes pretty bearish compared to all the other candles. You know, like it matches this one, so that basically turns that into a doji, right? And so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then these two right here is 6. 6 dojis, and guess what's left after I take away all those? That one candle. And that tells you that this is going down. Does that make sense? Because when you negate all the other candles, like a doji basically means nothing. Like it's just zeroed out, right? And so if it's nothing, if that's nothing, and all these are other dojis right here are nothing, then the only thing left up here is this red guy, right? And so then if that's the only thing left, then it's going down unless they print another green one next to it. But then the next candle you get, it's down here. So it would have to be a very bullish green candle going up, but we don't get that. You get a red one coming down, you know? And so then you have that low right there of all those dojis. And the same thing that Boss Hog was saying. It's like you got that line where all your dojis share. Right there. And that's literally your like line in the sand. Like you can take it one tick underneath that, you know, or right on it, or you know, I like to do it like one tick under it. And then, or you can do it one tick underneath all the wicks, you know, if you want to be a little bit more cautious or whatever. But just know that this is nothing here, and that you do have that green candle that ends right there. So once it crosses that there, that green candle's not holding it anymore, you know, and it's if it can continue to go past that, then it's going to go down. The other thing is really the dojis is what sells this one. It's all the dojis on this one that sells it. I mean, it's just a complete onslaught of dojis, and I call this the Mohawk trade, you know. Yeah, and you also have your devil's horns there, you know. And so once you get the devil's horns, you got all the dojis in consideration. And if you do take the time to delete these two candles out right there, and all you have is left is that right there, then you know that your trade is, once you get this one, it negates that candle right there. If you can process that fast enough, you know that you put your trade like one tick underneath that candle, and if it goes down, you're in there. You know, because we're in an area that it's not been tested. We're already having a hard time getting up. We can't even make it to this area up here, you know, and just heavy rejection. So I think that kind of covers that. Do you need more on that? Cool. Boss Hog? You got anything on that? Okay, and then so let's go